Here in Alamance County, our sheriff's department has an ICE program, but little is known about the program. How much money does it make for the county? Is it profitable? Does it help in some way reduce the tax burden on the Alamance County taxpayer? Well, one commissioner is asking questions, and we'll look at that right after this. Well, hello and welcome to Alamance County Talks Politics. In this video, we're going to be looking at the ICE program in Alamance County. I think the ICE program actually began in 2007, but much is not known about the program. Much is not told about the program. And so we're going to look at this in this video. We're going to be looking at one commissioner's request to try to find out some of these answers as it pertains to the ICE program. Is the program profitable? If it is profitable, does it help offset some of the tax burden on the Alamance County taxpayer, or does it ultimately end up being a slush fund for the sheriff's department? Well, we're going to look at that. And in this next clip, you're going to see Alamance County Commissioner Pam Thompson begin to ask the questions about this ICE contract. She's asked this before, and from what I'm understanding, the answers are just not coming. So we're going to look at this video and we're going to try to break this down and to try to get a better understanding of the ICE contract. Is it profitable? How much money is being made by the project, by this program? And what can the money be used to help offset some of this tax burden upon the Alamance County taxpayer? How can we relieve that or help alleviate some of that instead of it being maybe a potential of a slush fund for the sheriff's department? Well, let's get into Commissioner Thompson's words here, and here we go.
I know I've asked for the ICE contract to be presented to us because I'm clueless. I don't know anything about it. I just know ICE contract.
So their Commissioner Thompson is asking the question. She's wanting to know, and she's asked this before, she's wanting to know the details concerning the ICE contract. She's clueless, and I think many of us are. And let me say this: I have voted for Sheriff Johnson, but the point in time in our history now is we trust, but we verify. We want to make sure that we evaluate every department in Alamance County because we've learned that they are oftentimes government is one of probably the most wasteful, inefficient entity. And so we want to see these details. We want to know what is involved in this program and how much money is being made, what's being done with the money. Well, we're going to see one part of that in just a moment. But Commissioner Thompson is bringing up the question. No one else is asking the question. They just trust Sheriff Johnson. And listen, as I told you, I voted for him. I trust, but we want to verify. And no matter who you voted for, if you voted for him, you can't give anybody a free pass. You've got to hold them accountable for what they've been given according to their responsibilities. So let's continue to listen to Commissioner Thompson.
And it's very concerning to know that ICE contract, whatever that financial part is going to kind of mingle in with the county money, taxpayer. I don't want taxpayers paying for facilities for that population. That's illegal. As far as ICE has been arrested for horrendous crimes. We see that all the time. Of course, we've got them over there below that are in horrendous crimes. Crime is crime, but I just am concerned about our tax dollars right here in the county, that our property taxes and everything else, paying for that to come here whenever ICE is supposed to cover it.
And so the question she's asking, is it profitable? Or is it costing the Alamance County taxpayer? Are we having to chip in to help offset this program? And here Sheriff Johnson is going to answer this. And he's going to tell you, listen to what he says.
I will tell you this, we've made more money. The county hadn't had to use any that I'm aware of county money.
Okay, so Sheriff Johnson says there that we've made more money. And the question that we want to know now is, well, where is this money going? This money that you say we're making, where does the money go? Does it help offset county expenses for the sheriff's department? I mean, I would like to see that. I think people in the taxpayers would like to see this. You say we've made money, or is this becoming a slush fund for the sheriff's department? I don't know. Those words are harsh, but I don't know. We do not know. But he did say that we've made more money and the county hadn't had to use any of it. Let me say this, Sheriff Johnson. You say we've not had to use any money. You're using county facilities that is paid for and funded by the Alamance County taxpayer. So we're funding this. We're funding the electricity side of it. We're funding probably the insurance side of it as well without ICE money. I'm not sure if you're breaking that out and helping offset that cost or that expense for the county taxpayer. I doubt it. But this is the whole point of the video. We don't know. There's just too much secrecy, and it seems like you can't get any answers. But notice what he says. We have made more money. Okay, Sheriff Johnson, if we've made more money, where is the money going? Let's listen.
Because when you're only having 6 people overnight and you're getting $135 a day, I'm just using that as an example, you're getting paid for 40 beds.
All right, so here we go. So Sheriff Johnson said we're getting paid $135 a night. We got 40 beds. You do the math, $135 times 40. That's $5,400 a day. I'm assuming they pay it 7 days a week. That's $37,800. And then you take that, multiply that times 52 weeks, you come up with $1.965 million, $1,965,600. So we see that that's the money that we know of it that he's saying there that's coming in. Now let's look at it like this. Over the last 4 years, the Biden administration probably did not even utilize the ICE program. Now, I understand with Trump in the office now, I'm sure the ICE program is heavily utilized, and rightly it should be. But we're just wanting to see how much money is being made and where is this money going. So let's continue listening to Sheriff Johnson. Now he says, notice he said, while money is being made, now notice there was enough money that's made that is able to pay for this. And apparently more is left over.
But now, with some of the mishaps that's happened in the county, some of that ICE money had to be used to pay overtime and stuff like that.
Okay, so there you go. Now he's talking about overtime, and I'm not sure exactly which situation he's talking about. I'm not sure if he's talking about the holiday pay, overtime that they had to pay. I think that's probably what he's referring to instead of the $625,000 that the county had to pay out for this overtime that these detention officers said they worked, but they did not get paid accordingly. So I'm assuming he's talking about maybe the holiday pay. But either way, we're looking at close to $500,000. And his words were, but now with some of the mishaps, now he calls it a mishap. I don't know that I call a $500,000 mistake a mishap. That's happened in the county. Some of that ICE money had to be used to pay overtime and stuff like that for detention. So, the money is going to be used for overtime. Some of it, he said some of that money. So how much is left over? I don't know. I don't know. The question is this continued amount. And now we turn our attention to the contract that Commissioner Thompson was asking about. Listen to Sheriff Johnson.
For detention.
Additionally, we are currently negotiating with the ICE folks for a new contract.
Okay, now that was Commissioner Paisley, and he says now we're currently negotiating with the ICE people. Notice this, for a new contract. Now listen to Sheriff Johnson, and I'll try to interrupt as we need to. So notice John says we're negotiating a new contract. Listen to Sheriff Johnson.
Yeah, we're right now. We were supposed to have done it in January, but we've held off because their budget goes from January to January. We're still in negotiations. Susan and I'll be meeting after this meeting about the possibility of the new contract. The ICE says they want to keep the 40 beds and may look down the road to increase, but right now they're concentrating on 40 beds because the way they're doing things, bringing people in, getting them out the next day, has been a big help to ICE. Now, it works my personnel to death because we have to process them when they come in, and we have to check them out when they leave.
Okay, so now, Sheriff Johnson, you're exactly right. I'm assuming when they bring in a large amount of people, it works your people to death. But the question I'd like to ask is, what were they doing? I'm just saying for the last 4 years. I mean, probably been very, very little ICE in that in the detention center. Now, I'm pretty sure it's picked up. You even go on in this video and say there's 2 in there now, but you said they bring in several people at a time and it works your people to death. Well, listen, I hear that and we can be sympathetic to that, but it's like retail. It's like any other business. There are times when you're busy and there are times when it's slow, and you had for the last 4 years pretty slow, I'm sure. And just recently with the Trump administration, it's probably picking up. But you yourself said in the same video that you've only had 2 people. You only have 2 people in the ICE detention at this moment. So listen, this is nothing unique. This is just something that happens in every profession. And so, you said they wanted to keep the beds. John said we're looking for a new contract. You're talking about a new contract. Let's listen.
So that's been a problem.
I just want to make sure before that contract is signed that it is presented before these commissioners, because we're to vote on this, and I need to know what this is, not just read about it. Because, I mean, this affects the jail, the people working there, the safety. It's a big deal, especially at a time in this country. And I just would like to know what is all in that contract. I think who watches this meeting and lives in this county needs to know that as well.
Yeah, and I agree with Commissioner Thompson. I think if you want to know what's in the contract, you should know what's in the contract. It's ridiculous that there's so much secrecy surrounding this. And I know this is not the first attempt to try to get information like this. But let's listen to Heidi York, the county manager.
I've asked several times.
Yes, we are planning to bring that contract for a review, but it's an ongoing contract that doesn't require a vote. What's being negotiated is a per diem rate. That's not something that the board would necessarily need to vote on, but we are happy to bring it back and talk about all the components of the contract.
Okay, so there Commissioner Thompson said, and she even said there, I have asked several times, and she's not getting a response. There is no, she was duly represented by the people of Alamance County. She's asked these questions, she should be getting an answer. Period, end of story. And then County Manager York says that they're planning to bring the contract for review, and the contract doesn't require a vote. Okay, it doesn't, but a county commissioner should know what's going on. And she said what is being negotiated is a per diem rate. So it's not necessarily a new contract like John inserted, like Commissioner Paisley inserted, or like Sheriff Johnson is pushing this as. It seems like, and we'll see this later in the video, is the per diem rate. How much are they going to pay us per bed for the people who stay in the detention center through the ICE program?
I think as a courtesy to Alamance County citizens, it would be nice for them to know what all is in their jail, other than just their county folks.
Yep.
And I think Commissioner Thompson is correct.
We currently today had 350 people in jail, 2 of them ICE, but we're getting.
Okay, so there you go. He says got 350 people in the jail, and 2 of them are ICE at the time of this meeting. So just 2 inmates, two ICE inmates in that sense. But we're still getting paid for 40 beds. Again, you've got 2 beds. That's if you're paying 135. Was it 135? That was at 270. So you got 270, but you're getting paid for 40 beds, which is not being utilized. I'm assuming you're not utilizing personnel, although I'm sure you have to have some on staff that are trained, and that we'll maybe get into the personnel side a little bit later, but it just need to clear up some of these other issues. So continue to listen to what he says here.
Paid for 40 beds. Also, we currently just now have 45 vacancies.
Hey, listen, I got the transcript right here. I mean, listen to this. Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let him finish this, and then I'm going to try to break this down. So he's got 45 vacancies. Listen to this.
I'll make you aware of it. 4 investigator positions open, and a CID, Criminal Investigation Division Sergeant, that's 5 in that. 3 patrol deputies position, 4 courtroom deputy positions, and 1 clerk position open. We have 32 detention officers.
Okay, now this is where it gets tricky for me. You got 32 detention officer vacancies, okay? Don't forget how many he said he has in the detention, ICE detention now too. Okay. And I understand that number can change, but he's got 32 detention officers that he's short. And he's going to say here, because I'm going to hit the button, he's going to say 18 are budgeted. And listen to what he says about the ICE positions.
18 are budgeted and 13 ICE positions are there and 1 civilian employee. And that's a total of 45 vacancies with everything in the sheriff's office. And I want to thank you commissioners for allowing us to come down to that. But we really need to come on down some more with that.
And see, this is the problem here. I mean, how can we have 13 ICE vacancies? I think I was reading where you needed to have, I mean, if we have, I don't know how many we bring in. This is the whole point. We see no numbers about how many ICE people are being brought in a day. I mean, it's not been many. He said it might, we just don't have the information. I don't know. And this is where the dilemma lies. You're unable to get a hold of this information and break it down to see if it makes sense to hold county government, responsible, no matter who it is. So he says we're short 13 ICE positions and they're funded 13. I mean, anyway, I'll deal with that on another issue. So, but notice this is where some more confusion comes up with the ICE contract. Listen to Commissioner Paisley and Sheriff Johnson, and then someone from the county.
This contract is being negotiated as we speak. Is that correct?
The per diem rate is being renegotiated, not the actual contract.
I understand.
New contract.
So there you go. I mean, that ends that video, but there you go. Commissioner Paisley asked the question, so we got a new contract that's being negotiated. I think it was Susan. I can't remember her last name. She's the CFO. She said it's actually the per diem rate that's being negotiated. And the Sheriff Johnson behind her sits there and says a new contract. And I'm sitting here thinking, John, Commissioner Paisley said new contract. Susan said it's just a per diem rate. Seems to be the contract is going to remain the same. And then Sheriff Johnson says a new contract. My question is, which one is it? And I guess from what I'm saying, if I were on the board or whoever's on the board, why are you not asking the question, wait a minute. You're saying, Sheriff Johnson, why are you so confused? You're saying that we're going to have a new contract. Susan says we're not going to have a new contract. The only thing that's being negotiated is the per diem rate. I mean, unless Sheriff Johnson's understanding the per diem rate to be the entirety of the contract, I'm not sure. But these are some of the issues that need to be addressed and answered. And so all I'm saying is this is another issue. When you're looking at maybe $2 million and maybe the county is making maybe $1 million off of this contract, where's the money going? Maybe we're making $750,000 off the contract. Where's the money going? Well, we know we had at least about $500,000 that was profit. Where's that money going? That may be like a quarter cent property tax decrease if we could get that money and apply it to the sheriff's department without, it maybe being in a slush fund. I don't know where it's going. This is the problem. We do not know. So I'm in agreement with Commissioner Thompson. This ICE contract needs to be made available. We need to have more information concerning this, because this, in the end, it's not one department's money. It's the county's money. It's the taxpayers' money. And so I think we need to have a better understanding of that. I think we need a DOJ in Alamance County, a Department of Government Efficiency in our county and our sheriff's department, every other department. We need a Department of Government Efficiency to verify that people are doing things the right way. Now, you know what's going to happen. People don't like it when you start getting into their quote business. But let me tell you something. It's not your business. It's the county. It's the county taxpayers' business. And we as taxpayers have a right to know where the money is being spent, how much money is being taken in, and where the money is being spent. So with that being said, I'm hopeful that Commissioner Thompson will get more available information in the next meeting. I believe one's coming up Monday, July the 7th, I believe it is. I'm not sure if it's 7th. It's July. It's the first Monday in July. So we'll be looking forward to that. Well, I know some of us, we're strong Sheriff Johnson supporters, but listen, I'm going to support people who are doing the right thing. And I have voted for him. I voted for him every time. So don't say that I'm anti-sheriff. I'm not. But I am pro-government transparency. So with that being said, this is Alamance County Talks Politics. If you like this video, let me encourage you to hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Sorry it went a little long, but until next time, take care.